Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. We're with Sim here. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. We actually haven't had any active weather lately, at least not very much active weather. We did have a few slight risks at the beginning of last week, but that's really all we had to deal with. So it's kind of why I didn't really have to do a weather video, but I mean, there could be other reasons why. But in today's video, we actually got a storm that's going to come and impact the United States, bringing the risk for very heavy snowfall and even stormy weather across portions of the Midwest, getting down into the South. But most of the East Coast does seem to be staying dry, but we'll talk about that throughout the video. But as right now, as you see, we aren't really seeing any risk for thunderstorms today, not even a general risk. Okay, we aren't even seeing a single general risk around. So yeah, I mean, not very stormy at all. Most areas do seem to be staying dry, so you can enjoy that nice weather if you can. But as we get into tomorrow, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. This is where we start to see a chance for storms across the Mississippi Valley, getting into the lower Ohio Valley and even the Tennessee valleys. I'm not saying that this part of the Mississippi Valley will be seeing storms. It doesn't really look like they'll see storms tomorrow, but down here in Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, and even southern Indiana do seem to have a pretty decent chance for storms with not even a single threat of severe weather. So it's not very likely that we see severe storms the rest of this week, but it is likely that we do start to see a storm come up. And I'm really sorry about that. But as we get into day 3, as you see, that does seem to be more widespread on the East Coast, but we will talk about that tomorrow. But as we look at the climate prediction outlooks, as you do see, we got a decent chance of above average temperatures for much of the eastern United States, while we do have a chance for below average for the western United States. But we also are seeing a ginormous strip of green, which means above average precipitation. This starts from the west coast, getting into all of the Rocky Mountains region, especially Utah, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, getting down into Texas and Arizona and New Mexico and even Colorado. So I mean, it's a big area getting that start to get into Ohio Valley, while the all of the East Coast does seem to be seeing pretty well below average precipitation. But as we get into the 8 to 14 day outlook, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. We got a more widespread below average temperatures, while we are seeing above average temperatures shift off more east. So I mean, we won't be dealing with major heat, but 10 degrees at the most above average is what we're going to be dealing with. And then this precipitation does die down a little bit for the chance of above average precipitation, but it does seem to be shifting off to the east, which the Ohio Valley could use because we are already in a pretty big drought. Because as we look at the drought monitor, let's see, as we look at the drought monitor, as you do see, we got a marked drought for pretty much the entire state of Indiana. I'll go ahead and click on that. Let's see, it's loading. As you do see, we got a pretty big drought. If you see, we got marked droughts across the Ohio Valley, and we even got some severe droughts across Wisconsin, even some extreme droughts across all these areas too as well. We even got a few areas of exceptional droughts, especially for Iowa, so we could definitely really use the rain. Even goes for portions of Kentucky and Missouri too, so we could definitely use some rain. Same goes for Michigan. That drought does seem to already start to ramp up, but we could definitely use a lot of rain, especially for the Ohio Valley in the Midwest. But as we do take a look at the hazards, as you do see, we actually got a chance for some heavy rain, and this gets barely into the Ohio Valley, I wouldn't be surprised to see this shift off to a little bit more to the east, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But we even are seeing some high wind risk across the plains, and we are even seeing a sight risk for way below normal temperatures. And if you look, this purple means there's a sight risk of very heavy snowfall. So I mean, this is going to be pretty intense, especially if you live in the Rockies. You could be getting up to 2 feet of snow. But if you look at the precipitation totals, this is from today all the way to November 3. So if we look at this covers a lot of the United States. Most of the United States does seem to be seeing about an inch or two of rain. So this from now to November 3. We can even take this back. We're actually going to go ahead and do this till, we should probably do this till October 27th, because that's when the storm's going to be here. And as you see, we actually got some widespread inches of rain across this area. We could even be talking about a few inches of rain in the Ohio Valley too. They could definitely use some, and as you do see, it continues to grow. We are kind of seeing a widespread inch of rain across the Ohio Valley, getting into portions of the East Coast. So I mean, we could still use the rain. Looks like Texas is seeing a ton of rain. It looks like Texas could be seeing over 6 in that area right there. I don't know if you can see it very well, but pretty much right there, we could be talking about 6 inches of rain. But if we look at the total snowfall, this is from now all the way to November 3, like what we said on the other model. That's pretty much the GFS model, and this is pretty much the GFS model on the total precipitation. But GFS model, as you do see, from pretty much today all the way to November 3, we are seeing a ton of snow. We are seeing over 16 inches of snow in some areas. Looks like we got 17 right here in Nebraska. Is definitely pretty surprising to see. We are even seeing widespread 1 inches of snow, 2, 3, 4, and so on. We are even seeing up to 34 inches of snow up here in Canada. We could even be talking about like a few inches of snow near Toronto, if I said that right. And then we could even be talking about some snow in Great Falls, Montana. Same goes for Laramie and Cheyenne. And yeah, I mean, this is definitely pretty surprising to see. But if you live anywhere in this area, especially the Rockies, you're really gonna have to be prepared. I'm even surprised to see a chance for snowfall in portions of the upper Midwest, getting down into Little of Iowa. We are even seeing some for New York and even some for Maine. So we'll have to keep our eye on this. But as we look at the temperature anomalies, dew point, excuse me. This is the dew point, okay? This is still with the GFS model. We're going to go ahead and take this forward. So as of today, let's see, we're going to go to 1 p.m. And as you see, we continue to see freezing dew points. And then we'll keep taking this forward to October 20th. And I see we continue to see those dew points dip down due to the heavy snow and temperature. And I see they just keep getting worse. For the Rockies, they just keep getting worse. We are seeing as low as 0 degrees, guys. We could be talking about a big load of frost in this area. This is definitely something to be aware of. And as you see, we continue to see the dew points dip down. As you see, we are even seeing some 23s over here. This is for October 31st on Halloween. As you see, we are seeing 20-degree dew points all over the Ohio Valley. This is definitely surprising to see, okay? I am not joking. As you see, we continue to see dew points skip down even more on October 30th. So, I mean, this is going to continue to be surprising, because that strong cold front that's going to come through, bringing dew points as low as 22. Holy moly, we could be talking about a whole entire frost advisory for the northern half of the United States, okay? I am not joking. We could be talking about frost advisory for pretty much the entire Ohio Valley, including the lower Ohio Valley, even the northeast. We could even be talking about it for all the Rockies. This is just nuts. But as we take a look at the regular temperature, so this isn't the dew point, this is the air temperature. As we take this forward, as you do see, temperatures continue to die down near the Ohio Valley, gain as low as 37 in some areas. We're going to keep taking this forward all the way to October 30th, and you see we just continue to see pretty active temperatures. We could be talking about, I don't know, 35 degrees on October 31st. I'm like, dang. And as you see, we are even seeing some 40s, 50s. Wow. I mean, I live in the lower Ohio Valley, so, or southwest Indiana. I mean, I live in southwest Indiana. As you see, I'm like seeing 35-degree temperatures, guys. This is insane. We could be talking about a freeze watch in effect for the entire Ohio Valley as well, just because temperatures could have the possibility to get that much. So if you guys do live in the Ohio Valley, make sure you are maybe getting some really warm jackets and coats ready for this, guys. Excuse me, I really didn't mean to do this, but like on Halloween we could be talking about freezing temperatures even for the Ohio Valley. But yeah, so just really be aware of this, okay? But as we look at the current temperatures, I didn't mean to do that, but we are seeing a high wind warning in effect for Rapid City. We are even seeing a wind advisory around that. And as we take a look at the high wind warning, gusts up to 65 are expected, which is pretty intense. And as we also take a look at this, gusts up to 50 are expected around that. So, I mean, we aren't seeing a terrible amount of alerts. We are even seeing some coastal flood advisories in effect, but they are more isolated than they are widespread. So, as we do take a look at the radar, though, we're going to go this from now, and we're going to go ahead and take this forward. And you see, we are seeing a wave of showers and storms for this area. We are even seeing another line of storms for this area, and this is going to be on October 20th. And as you see, we're going to continue to take this forward. And I see we continue to see round after round of storms for the Ohio Valley, which is good news, because if you look, I'm just going to go ahead and show you this again. We actually got some droughts in effect for these areas, so we could definitely be using it. And as you see, we even are seeing heavy snowfall for the Rockies, and we could even see another line of storms on October 28th. This might bring a slight risk of severe weather, but I don't think there'll be a tornado threat. I'm going to keep taking this forward, and I see we could even see another round of storms. This is going to be at the first day of November, so on November 1. So, I mean, it's pretty active. So, like, we could be talking about wave after wave of storms all the way until November 31st. And I'm really sorry that happened. I'm not trying to be rude about it, but as you see, we are even seeing some sleet and snow in effect for a lot of these areas. And, like, we could be talking about more than an inch of rain for the Ohio Valley, okay? I'm not joking. We could, okay? We could, but we definitely aren't going to be seeing up to 2 inches, though. And I look at the excessive rainfall outlook. As you do see, we got pretty much zero outlook for flash flooding besides this day. We got it in effect for the Northeast, so like New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, maybe a little bit of Rhode Island. So, I mean, we could still be talking about some storms on Saturday into Sunday, but that's really all we have We don't even have an outlook for tomorrow. So that's what I'm saying. We don't really have any active weather going on this week, okay? But we will be seeing some active weather next week, especially with heavy snow and stuff like that. We could even be talking about a frost advisory in effect on Halloween. So I mean, this is gonna be a really big deal, okay? We like I said, we could be seeing freezing temperatures in effect for the Ohio Valley. We could even be seeing some 20-degree dew points for Ohio Valley as well. So the whole Ohio Valley could definitely be seeing some freezing temperatures. So we'll have to keep our eye on that. But thank you guys very much for watching. You guys should be glad I finally did a video now. We got a storm getting ready to come for next week. This is pretty much going to be for Wednesday next week, so make sure you are aware of that, and we will see you tomorrow.